Whoops, LinkedIn says you're not approved for LinkedIn Live. So the only way to limit this, the only way, it's only available in a limited group of members and organizations for more information.
Oh my God, you're so exclusive.
Hmm?
You're so exclusive.
I'm exclusive.
Well, I love that we're live, and I love that I can welcome everybody to the inaugural broadcast. This is really exciting because we've been talking about this, Michael, a very long time.
Yes, we have. We're working out our kinks, different from kinkies, right now on our live broadcast.
Honestly, kinkies wouldn't even be this much fun.
No? Let's go live. Here we go. So this is Jennifer English.
Hi, everybody.
Say hello to Jennifer English.
Hi, Mrs. Spices.
She's Mrs. Spices today, and she actually has a James Beard Award. She's James
Why don't
Beard
we
Award
leave that up? I love how that sort of covers up a multitude of sins.
Just cover your face with James Beard?
Yeah, there you go.
Just leave it like that.
We should do one of those Conan O'Brien things where you make the mouth, where we substitute my mouth for his in the middle.
Oh my, can you imagine? All right, let's get back to Jen. Let me read the tagline, Jennifer, because I feel like I left out.
But I have to say, Michael, this is the pilot. This is the pilot broadcast of F&B Live.
This is the pilot. I feel like I need to read this first.
Okay.
Just to get it launched.
Oh, Michael.
This is Executive Chef Josh Green from Food and Beverage Magazine. Jeff.
Hello.
There you go, Chef. You look great. Fantastic. Let's go back to here. You might hear my 3-year-olds in the background having a great time because, of course, we're all quarantined. All right, I'm going to read this, Jen, and then I'm going to let you take over while I learn the technology. But Jennifer just rapped this right out of her head. I felt like it was like Yo MTV Raps.
Well, we've only been working on this for 2 years.
Yes, this is Food and Beverage brought to life. Live, juicy inside scoop from the tastemakers, newsmakers, bread bakers, drink shakers, spoon lickers, clam diggers, farmers, foodies, and friends of the food and beverage world. All right, that was very Robin Leach of you, Jennifer, I want to say.
We've spent a lot of lovely time together over the years with the very much missed Robin Leach. In fact, if it wasn't for Robin, I wouldn't even know you.
Well, that is true. We were judging that competition together with Susan from what's the name of the restaurant?
Robin and Laura Badish brought us together.
Wow, that's crazy. That's true. I forgot Laura Badish was involved with it. That was a long time ago.
A million years ago.
Just 20.
And look at how far you've come.
Well, it's funny. My new book's coming out. Obviously, I don't know if everybody knows about that. The Guide to Restaurant Success. And I don't want to ruin it. And spoiler alert, but the last line in the book is, as Robin Leach, my mentor, said, champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
I love that.
And there it is, by the way, Jennifer. So you're able to go on barnesandnoble.com or amazon.com right now and pre-order the book coming out July 1st. Josh, I want you to look at the book. I see you looking away. Very exciting. Very exciting.
Hey, listen, I love that we get together to do these live F&B sessions. Somebody might say they're the F and Bull sessions, but I love this. This is really going to be a lot of fun. Our friends will join us, and every day will be on topic. And one of the things we'll get to do here is we'll do an on-topic show and tell. So imagine if we were doing show and tell on the topic today. And for the upcoming issue of F&B Magazine, there's an article coming out with a cover story about a remarkable product. And we're actually going to talk a little bit about that today because I've been visiting with, interviewing, and meeting with the founder of a company that is on topic. And the topic relates to a hat that you're wearing and a topic that we were talking about as we got on the air today. And that is ownership, brand ownership in the spirits industry. And you might wonder, well, didn't that all sort of come to a culmination when George Clooney sold his interest in Casamigos tequila? And somebody else might say, well, no, that kind of happened with the Grey Goose and Ciroc vodka moments. No. Or what about when some of our favorite brands became acquired, like Del Maguey tequila? A guy like Ron Cooper was working at it tirelessly, but he might not be as same level big name as George Clooney. to everybody that loves mezcal he is. But let's talk about the fact that it is still ripe territory. There are more and more people getting into the ownership of brand products in the spirits industry. You're seeing it all the time. You're seeing it at the Proof Awards. You're even wearing a hat. So you are actually on point on the topic for show and tell today. What's your hat say?
Well, it's very rare that I'm ever on point for the topic, but thank you. Usually it's my writers and editors. This is a Dos Hombres. You see this Dos Hombres hat?
Yeah.
And I was given to this. This is Bryan Cranston and is it Aaron Paul? Both of the guys from Breaking Bad. It's their new tequila, and it's delicious. And they're doing fun types of advertising. Very influential.
Yeah.
Right. Very. They're just, it's the two of them, holding a bottle and going, laughing and having a great time. And that's the message. It's, it's in the medium, right? It's out there. They're not really saying much. It's just them having a great time. And of course, using their celebrity, they're getting it distributed and all that kind of stuff, which is, one of the hardest things that anybody can do in the industry, right? Is that distribution, which is something that you and I have always talked about. It's why we started the Proof Awards to be able to bring smaller brands into distribution, right? One of the brands that one of my friends owns, you guys have heard of Third Eye Blind, and that's this brand, right? You see that? Can you see that, or is it too bright? It's called Summer Gods. And Stephen Jenkins.
Remind everybody about Third Eye Blind.
Third Eye Blind, Josh, hum a few bars.
What?
Semi-charmed kind of life, I want something, right? So Stephen created this brand because he wanted a great tequila, Blanco, just a Blanco, to drink with his friends while they were surfing it out on the beach and doing their stuff. And he's really pushed this in a non-traditional, non-celebrity way. Occasionally he'll throw it, hey, I'm doing a cocktail. Like now during quarantine, everyone's doing stuff. But it's pretty cool. Maybe let me see if I can put on the comments where to get this. Because he literally sourced this out of Mexico, started off while he was on tour, then goes down to Mexico, then goes into Jalisco, then he finds the right products, and then he doesn't like it, then they find more, and it just goes over and over. So it's delicious. Delicious. It's got hints of vanilla. It's absolutely delicious.
Josh, have you tried it?
No, never tried it.
And I'm not getting paid for this. How about that? I've tried to get paid.
There you go, Michael.
We got to put some headphones on you. I think we're getting a ton of feedback. We got to work on that.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right, thank you, Josh, for that.
So
back to Jennifer. Let's go, Brian. Let me go a little Brian De Palma on us.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So one of the things that I wanted to add to this conversation is this idea of when we're on topic, when we're on point, that we're all going to bring something for show and tell. And I brought my show and tell today. And this is the packaging for as I learn how to do this the right way. There we go. Can you see?
Wow.
Yep.
So this is the One Rock Vodka Company, or Vodka Club, if you want to call it that. And this is the fantastic packaging that it comes in. And the bottle itself, let me get it out here.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Now, what's cool about this is, there's a dozen cool things about this. And we're going to do a little live tasting. But one of the really cool things about One Rock Vodka is it's a completely different business model of developing a spirits brand that is organically growing out of this movement is the only word that comes to mind for it.
Well, why don't we start, Jennifer? Remember when I told you about it? And, I mean, I was dumbfounded at the business accolade of the way he's doing this.
Right.
How about that?
Well, and so what the whole thing is this is the future of spirits brands, and One Rock Vodka is really revolutionizing the industry through its model that takes this idea of crowdfunding and this idea of ownership of spirits brands. I mean, because clearly, if you're in early on something and you're an investor, then your chances of having a really big upside are tremendous. If you get into something mature as an investment, the chances of you, doubling or tripling your money are kind of limited. You want to get in on things like Google and Facebook and Apple on the early days, so that when you put down $100, it becomes $100,000 or $10,000, right? You want to make a lot of money with these kinds of things. And so when we read about George Clooney cashing out with Casamigos, and numbers from upwards of $200 million were thrown around, you think, how can this be? It wasn't even a product a couple of years ago. You look at certain cosmetics entrepreneurs being now worth $1 billion. How can these new brands be worth this astronomical amount of money? Well, because they are worth that kind of money, the notion of ownership becomes much more important. That's why if you're a cook or a chef, Josh, you can speak to this. If you're a cook or a chef, you want this to be part of your story too. So you want to have your own place, your own restaurant, your own food truck, your own brand, because that's where the hard work you put in will translate into real upside financial benefit, as well as the pleasure and joy of living your passion and your mission to cook for people, to make hospitality, to cultivate conviviality, for all those reasons. But at the end of the day, if you're killing yourself working hard and you're doing owner's hours in whatever you do, you want to be an owner, because the owners are the ones that make the money. It's that simple. It's always been the case. It probably always will be the case. And so for companies like this, One Rock takes that idea and very simply says, this isn't just a brand, it's a club that you can invest in. And every time you invest, you are becoming a part of this company, its story, its investment, and its upside potential. And
so Jennifer,
it's really as simple as that.
But it's not an investment like you could go, for example, we were talking about this. It's not going to the stock exchange and buying a Diageo stock, right? This is
if somebody gave me 100 shares of Diageo stock for my birthday, I'd be grateful to them. But that would be really almost no different than giving me a savings bond or a check or a $100 bill, right? What I'm talking about and what has been created that fascinates me about One Rock is that you're buying shares in a relatively new young company, and they've taken the risk out of it. So if I were to invest in, say, Silicon Valley, where maybe 1 out of 100 new technology ventures will come to fruition or get bought out, or if I'm part of the restaurant world, where out of 100 restaurants, 1 might make it to their 2nd year anniversary, this has already anticipated the downside and removed the risk through several different aspects of the way that they've built their business, so that there's almost all upside, which is really extraordinary to me, because the product is so good. The product is extraordinary, and it's produced because it's an American vodka. It's made with American grain, and not just any American grain. Josh, tell me, have you ever tried a vodka made with corn before?
Nope.
And as a food guy, an American food guy, I'm sure you love and work with corn all the time.
Yeah, roasted corn is one of my favorites.
So this is a special branching off idea, but it's an all American, because we didn't have a super premium American vodka until now. And nobody's had the opportunity to invest in a brand this way before, because when you talk about something like Diageo, it's been around a long time. What's the likelihood that the upside? It might be something you hold for a long time, but your money's not going to, double and grow and make you, wealthy the way ownership is, the way the George Clooney experience, or the aviation gin, or the Third Eye Blind example you just gave us. This is the chance to let anybody get in on this because of what happens next after you invest. The mechanism that is the real distinctive genius behind Garrett Green's company here, One Rock Club, is that you then go to your favorite restaurants and liquor stores and say, hey, bring this in for me. And you make it really easy for them to bring the product in so that you can take your friends out to dinner and say, hey, I want you to try my vodka.
Jennifer, it's brilliant because I'll tell you what he's done, right? And I've spent hours with this guy and on the phone and in
He's a
person.
fascinating cat, by the way.
Very fascinating, incredible, right? His concept, he actually has a form once you buy in, which is inexpensive. It's like $100 or less.
Right.
And then you own however many shares, right? But he brings everyone together and says, I want you, I don't have a bottle here, so show the bottle, Jennifer, again, if you can. I want you to carry my vodka, One Rock vodka, and I have this many clients or customers available to come in and buy it. So you carry it, they're going to come in and buy it.
And
so in other words, what's that, Josh?
I said, and all of them will do it. You know, it's
right,
just
because they own part of it. They're going to get high on their own supply, right? They're going to be like, if I have to drink a vodka, I'm not going to drink Smirnoff. I'm going to go one that I have an investment in, right? And why aren't you carrying it in my local liquor store? There's 40 people here that will come in and buy it. They'll probably buy you out every time you bring it in.
And it's not just you saying, taste it and drink it because it's mine and we have a relationship. You're proud to do this, not because you're an owner. You're proud to do it because you're an owner and because it's so delicious. And you may think, well, how can a vodka be that delicious? I mean, it's a colorless, odorless, right? I mean, it's a clear spirit. It's supposed to have no color. It's supposed to have no odor. But really great vodka, especially food-friendly vodkas, and I consider this an exceptionally food-friendly vodka, it will just be the perfect accompaniment. Served ice chilled, brilliant in a martini. Yes, you can even make Cosmos with it, which people need to rediscover. But the best thing about it is it's just utterly high quality, super premium, and in all the ways that you can tell the difference between something for which, you know, you pay what you pay and you get what you get because you get what you pay for. This is one of those times where you can really taste the quality, and it's not as expensive as you are even going to think. And we'll even talk about that in just a bit. Everything about this is so smart, so thoughtful. But as the foodie in me, I was really suspicious until I tried it, and it knocked me out delicious. It really was great.
Which flavor did you try, Jen?
I have the classic, original, small batch, super premium American vodka.
There's I think it's Loganberry. There's a berry flavor that he didn't. I don't know if he sent you that, but it is mind-boggling. Mind-boggling.
All I know is the one that I've tried, that I've introduced people to, that I've studied. I've tried it in different iterations, and again, you know, I've been involved in the cocktail world, as you know, since the first Tales of the Cocktails. I was on the first seminar panel for the first Tales of the Cocktail, and I've been paying attention to the world of small batch and craft and micro distilled spirits and the companies and the brands that have really populated. I mean, God, 15 years ago, we didn't have anywhere near this number, and now look at the landscape.
No, it's beautiful. Well, Jennifer, let's talk a little bit about food. Let's get into some food stuff, right? Because we did some spirits. I know you love spirits, but let me hear what your thoughts are on trends. The quarantine. We're going to try to. Can we pull in some chefs at our next episode? We don't even know when we're doing our next episode. It could be tomorrow. But I want to get chefs doing really remarkable things and things that we're not seeing on the news, right? Things that they're doing unselfishly.
Well, listen, I'm going to jump in here, and I'm going to go to Josh. So I have had so many people through my Facebook feed, through my Instagram, through my Twitter, through everything. And on Facebook, you can find me. I'm Jennifer English on Facebook. So if you have any questions, if you want to chat at all, come visit me there. But everybody's saying the same thing, like all this bad news, everything from what's going on in Nova Scotia to the COVID crisis to going into week 5 of quarantine, shelter in place. People are running out of food. They're running out of patience. They're running out of ideas. There are more and more broadcast podcasts and experiences like this out there. And yet we're all still hungry for that thing that we're trying to replicate by going out, that conviviality. And so more people today on Topic were saying things like, I just need to do some day drinking and and be together with people. And so I wanted to reach out to Josh and ask him, as a food person, as a corporate executive chef, when we talk about things like this ice cold food friendly vodka, what are the kinds of like appetizers and zakuski and that little Russian vodka tradition? I think of like Anthony Bourdain going on his trips to Russia and having those like giant spreads of food comprised of little salty bites. What would you suggest would be some of those fantastic bites to go with the discovery of an ice cold food friendly vodka like the One Rock? What would you serve? What would get us through this afternoon of seemingly bad news from everywhere?
I would do something with like cucumber, especially because it's getting the summer, like cucumber, watermelon, maybe like a ahi tuna, something in that, realm, maybe seared ahi tuna with like a cucumber, watermelon, jalapeno salsa, with like maybe take the vodka, reduce it with some garlic, some onions, and get that flavor in there as well, especially the one that Michael was talking about with the black cherry or having a flavor. We could reduce the vodka and take out that flavor, but still have that flavor of the vodka, and then make a dressing or a sauce out of that. Now that the summer's coming, you want, cooler, more comforting, but refreshing items.
Chef, do you ever make blinis?
Bellinis?
Yep. No, not the drink, the little pancake.
Oh, yeah, I have. I actually worked for Daniel Ballou when we opened up the Win, and I was actually the Bellini maker.
So tell everybody, because I think of all the traditions, one of the most versatile traditions in the world is the blini tradition that might traditionally be served with things like smoked salmon or caviar. But for those of us who've been locked in quarantine and we're running out of food, one of the things we might have are some canned fishes, either smoked oysters in a tin, sardines, anchovies, tuna. Any number of things might qualify for this. But somehow if you did these little pancakes and put them in a little bit of butter and a little bit of fresh peppercorns, whatever the protein is, can you imagine how great that would go with an ice cold vodka? Even if you were vegetarian or vegan and you just want, if you're vegan, you're not going to want a buttery blini. I get that. But let's say vegetarian. And imagine putting a gorgeous little round of cucumber on the blini with a tiny dot of crema, like Mexican crema or sour cream and black peppercorns. All of a sudden, I'm in love with that bite to go with the vodka.
Sounds good.
So how do I make a blini?
How do you make it? Butter. I don't remember, to be honest.
Josh.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
I'm sure there's flour in it, Josh.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. I know you're probably thinking when I make them for 500, not for 5 or 10.
What if we did a pickled onion, Josh? Do you know how to do that? Like a pickled onion? If you obviously, Jennifer, if you were at home and like I have caviar right now, Imperial caviar, right? They sent us. And and we just made pancake mix. Like we took pancake, little batter, right? And made little mini pancakes. Real simple.
Well, if you have waffle batter, pancake batter, Bisquick, anything like that, you can take that recipe and make them just small. And when I say small, about the size of an old-fashioned pocket watch.
Or some would say a silver dollar.
Yeah.
Yes. A silver dollar. I haven't seen a silver dollar in a long time.
Some of us less classy people would say silver dollar pancakes. Now, Josh, how would you then do, like, let's say you have onions at home. How would you quickly pickle that? Let's say people want to, almost restaurant quality. You know how they have the pickled onions, and they may or may not have radishes, that sort of thing.
Well, what you want to do is you want to vinegar, sugar, a little salt, and then put it in I take beet juice, put it into that, and then make it like a red onion but has beet flavor. You can pickle it like that. And then also you could like pickle fries and pickle different vegetables and different things that you know, and pickling is also you can enhance flavors and make the item that you are pickling very strong, and it sits for, you know, anywhere from 48 to 72 hours.
One of the quick pickle recipes I use, Josh, is I use
Wait a minute, Jennifer. Did you just say quick pickle? That was crazy. Okay.
I'll quick pickle you.
I'm just checking. I want to make sure. We're all on the same page. You said quick pickle, right? I've never heard those two words together. Okay.
No, tickle and pickle you don't hear in the same sentence out of my mouth.
Right.
So literally one of the things you can do is you can take an equal quantity of white vinegar and white sugar, mix those together, take your thinly sliced onion, put it into that mixture. And while you're doing that, take a small frying pan and over a medium heat, take your whole spices, things that will give you lots of flavor, cumin, coriander, right? Peppercorns, any of the spices you might want to blend into giving this some really rich flavor. Allspice, another thing you can use. You want to use some heat, put in some, a little bit of crushed red pepper. Anyway, toast those in the pan. And then once you've toasted those till you begin to smell them, because this is one of those times where your senses will tell you when something is cooking, ready, and done. You know, you can hear it cooking, you can smell it getting ready, and you can see when it's cooking, and then you can really smell when it's done. Your nose will tell you that is the full blossoming or blooming of the spice flavors of each of the spices that you're using in the mix. And so take that and then put that into the mixture of the white vinegar, white sugar, and then whatever you're pickling, and it will really be ready. I love that mixture with an onion and with sliced cucumber. And it's literally, as soon as you're done stirring, it's ready. It absorbs, I don't understand the chemistry of it, but absorbs flavor so fast.
Wow. Josh, is she all right on that? I mean, I saw you popped off for a minute. I thought you got offended. She does have a James Beard Award. That's all I'm saying.
No, but not for cooking. Just for flapping my gums.
Well, that's okay. Let me look on that. Let's see what we got over here. If anybody's asking any questions on Facebook. But I got to look on my phone because I don't know how to use the technology. My friend Stefan Adika, big rock star, by the way, and we'll get him on here. I got to get him the link. We will get him on here one of our shows. Stefan used to play with Dee Dee Ramone. He played for Alice Cooper. He was in LA Guns. I mean, this guy is the embodiment of a skinny Jewish rock star.
Love that.
And we'll get him on one of our future quarantine shows. And that's what these are, right, Jennifer? Let me see what we got here. Let's see. Oh, he says hello. Stefan says hello. I could say hello, Stefan. I hear you. I see you. He has Cooking with Coffee Talk Tuesday. That's tomorrow. That's his thing. He brings all the rock stars on. Everyone's just saying hi. So, no one's really asking any questions. And I would like to people let them stream in.
What is everyone's go-to cocktail for the quarantine?
My go-to cocktail is orange soda. What am I going to drink with 15 kids running around like maniacs?
And I'm black coffee. How boring is that?
Yep, black coffee and Sprite.
Ooh.
Right. Ooh, black coffee and Sprite together?
I'll be right back.
No, not together. Not together.
Matt Froman, Clamato. Stefan, Clamato. I love that. Stefan, do you want me to send you a link to come on in? I mean, I have the link. Let me put it up.
What's great about Clamato? Does he make micheladas?
Micheladas. Let me. Stefan, call in.
Fantastic. We should have a column in Food and Beverage Magazine just about the best micheladas in the country. The Bloody Mary has been so overplayed. Turn it around. Instead of making it with something else, make it with beer. Make it in the style of the Southwest like we have here in Tucson, Arizona. I'm telling you, it's ready to be discovered. It's ready for its close-up. And then look what I have. And you know the best part?
What do you have so much about them?
After Passover, they're half price.
Who would know? We can't get to the grocery store.
My favorite thing to make with that, matzo brie.
Oh, tell everybody.
Matzo brie is the most amazing. Matzo brie is in water, then you crush them up a little bit, then you take out the water, and then you put it into an egg wash, and you can either flavor the egg wash or just do a regular egg wash. And then you take it out of the eggs and make it like French toast. And then I add a little cinnamon and I add a little butter to the pan. But then I take a little jelly. You can make a fresh jelly, homemade jelly, whatever you want. Or you could just go to the store and get some Smuckers, throw it on top, or some sour cream, or, some people put some flavored cream cheese on it. And it is delicious.
All right, I have a question. Did you just have a Passover Seder meal, and did you do a kugel with or without raisins?
I didn't do a kugel, but I don't like raisins, so I'm gonna say without raisins. But my mother loves kugel with raisins, so and there's also a hot kugel and a cold kugel as well.
How do you make the kugel without noodles for Pesach? That's what I want to know.
Well, you could do it with potatoes, and you can also do it with matzah if you know how to do it. You know what I was trying to do over the Passover was make a matzah pancake.
Ooh. With meal?
Huh?
With matzah meal?
No, with matzah. So what I was trying, I worked out this little situation with eggs and matzah, and then I made it like crumbles, and then laid it out as I put some almond flour in there.
Nice.
But
if people are running through their pantries, Josh, and everybody in New York is saying they're out of flour, they're out of yeast, they can't even score a 1 pound bag.
Yeah, there's no yeast. Flour. There's no yeast anywhere. Why is that?
Yeast anywhere. Nobody has yeast.
No, it's true. In Tucson, we've got community-supported baking. One of this year's James Beard Award nominees was Don Guerra from Barrio Bread. He was nominated last year as the James Beard Foundation's Best Baker nominee. And he's open every day from 9 to noon. And not only can you buy any one of the 30 different loaves that he might make, but you can also get some sourdough starter, and you can get the Sonoran White Heritage wheat that he grows and has milled, and you can use it for pasta making, from pizza dough making. He's got a couple different kinds of grained flour, and they're sensational.
A lot of people have been doing that, like making pasta together, making pizza together, doing things that are trying to bring the families together, which is pretty cool.
What part of food brings you comfort, Josh?
Definitely not eating it. I don't eat that much, but I like making food. I like cooking. Like being a chef and creating art. That's what I love to do, and I love to create that art on a plate. I know there's going to be a lot of people that come out of this quarantine thinking they're chefs, but being a chef is very hard, especially in the restaurant business, because being in the restaurant business, it's not only about cooking, it's about being able to handle the customers, being able to handle the trials and tribulations of a kitchen. Things run out, things get, ovens go down, fryers go down. You have to handle it, and you have to keep what you're doing and keep your whole thing of creating masterpieces and still keep it going. And
I love the idea, music, sculpture, painting, the fine arts, the capital F fine arts, for a very long time traditionally excluded the culinary arts. I think we are in an era now where the culinary arts and the distilling arts and the mixology arts are all genuinely and legitimately considered part of the capital F fine arts. But let's look to someone who is world renowned in one of the dimensions of the muse inspired fine arts, because I will say, do we even have a muse for the gastronomy side of life? But from the musical or harmonia side, the harmonia, the muse has inspired our next collaborator on this talk, somebody from the realm of world renowned fine arts. Take it, Michael. Who we got with us?
Oh my God, we have.
Oh my goodness.
the host of Coffee Talk with Adika, live from Paso Robles, California.
Oh, I love Paso
One of my
Robles.
closest friends in the whole wide world. And what else can I say about you, Stefan? What else can I say? Eric Singer loves you.
Oy vey, I'm going to show you a little trick. You're talking about something nice. I'm going to show you guys. Josh, nice to meet you. Chef, Maestro, nice to meet you. Miss Spices, nice to meet you guys. Welcome. Mazel. Politz. What I'm doing here, Mr. Politz, I got here a nice Breville coffee machine. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to bring the camera a little closer to show the kids at home. This is how we do it. For you guys who don't know me, I have a show called Coffee Talk, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. And
I love that.
yeah, Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah.
And what we do is we drink coffee and we yenter, and I bring special guests. Either they're rock.
Oh, we lost him. What happened?
Sorry about that. That's my friend Joe. He's Big Mama's Cheesecake. He's trying to call him on the show.
Oh, I love cheesecake.
So anyway, am I with you guys?
Yeah, you're
This
great.
is the lovely Breville. Every home should have that, especially while you're on lockdown. It's a beautiful thing, the Breville. If you're familiar with that, okay?
The Breville.
What we're going to do is I'm going to grind my coffee over that loud sound.
Stefan, what kind of
Stop
beans
the
are
grind
you
right
using?
there. Let me put you over here for a real second. And when you're doing a good grind at home, what you want to do, you want to pat it down and make sure you're getting some good fresh bean coffee in there. Can you guys see that at home over there?
Let me go.
Stefan,
Let me
what
make
kind
it
of
big. There
beans
you
are
go.
they?
Hold on there. Hold on. I can't hear you guys because my friend Joe just messed me up. But anyway, let's do this. Right. We're going to lock that in there as it is. Can you hear me, Michael?
I hear you. We're good.
Right there. I think I might have muted myself, everybody. So put that way. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Oh, what kind of beans?
You look handsome.
Hold on, Michael.
Are we going too long on this show? Stefan, some advice. Are we going too long on this show?
Cabinet here. Got a nice pair of beans over here. I'm using honey right there. Look at those.
Oh, okay.
Right there. That's what I'm using. We'll put the beans up there. Espresso beans. You can see that. Honey Company Classic Espresso. Dark chocolate caramel balance. So what we're going to do, we're going to get this going. We're going to rock it like so. You want to get the levels to move up. You can see that. That's so. And look at that. Look at that espresso. Look at that come out. Look at the color of the espresso.
It looks so creamy.
Of the espresso. Now, when you're doing a good espresso, look at that. Look at that right there.
Oh,
it's very nice. And what you're going to do, you're going to take a little dab of cinnamon, and you're going to right there. You're going to go a little nice. That's a nice kick. It's a nice kick to have. Isn't that wonderful?
Stefan,
wonderful.
Tell Jennifer.
Nice kick. Let me
Stefan
sign out because the sound went for me, and I'll sign back in.
Can you hear me? Oh, he's going to sign back
in. He's going to sign out and sign back in.
That's all right. We got somebody better. We got Matt Froman on right now.
Hey, Matt.
Hey,
Matt is from
how are we?
Jennifer. Matt is from Rogues on the Road on the Food and Beverage Podcast Network.
I
Matt,
love that show.
You did? Oh, you do love that show. That's right. Matt, thank you for joining us on our what is our launching show, Jennifer? What do you call this? We lost the
It's
show.
our pilot. It's our pilot.
No, it's beyond our pilot. We're live, boo.
Yeah, but it's.
I love it. I was watching you guys while I was out hiking with my dog, so it was very entertaining.
Look at this.
This is awesome. You know, I'm so fascinated. How do we talk about the flavors that we're going to remember this quarantine by? Are there some things you find that you keep going back to over and over again, saying, boy, this is emerging in the taste test that is the quarantine as the thing that's my daily go-to, the thing that's really come into my mouth and my life and my heart and bonded with me in this experience. This is the thing that has really become a part of my routine in my life. And in this period of quarantine, what's that thing been for each of you guys?
It's funny, when this all started, I own a distillery that was open for 3 days before we had to shut it down.
Oh no.
there's a bright side to this. So we decided to pivot and shift and got on board with making hand sanitizer.
Yeah, like many.
And, right. And we partnered with a local business. They needed the high proof ethanol. I needed the recipe. And we got together and started producing hand sanitizer. Well, in the recipe is a beautiful essential oil mix of lemongrass and green tea.
Cool.
And we started out making gallons of this, and I would say I'm about an hour outside of New York City, so it's pretty apocalyptic out here. But that smell about 3 weeks ago, when it was, we just didn't know which way this was all going to go. I was chatting with my partners. Is this a smell that is going to haunt us, or will it be a beautiful, like, this has helped us? And so that smell I can't get out of because I'm working with it every single day. So it's interesting that you bring that up.
Evan, what about you? What's the thing that you maybe didn't stock up on in bulk because you didn't realize it was going to become so important to you? What thing has really emerged for you?
Well, that's a good question. Well, the question is, and if I heard you correctly, what I didn't stock up on? Is that what you're saying?
What's the food or the flavor or the aroma or the experience that has, over the last 5 or 6 weeks of quarantine, really emerged for you as the thing that has just gotten you through, has pleased you so much, has soothed you, satisfied you, connected you somehow?
What's actually relaxed me is actually doing my live streaming. Believe it or not, doing my little crazy show, which I turned Michael on to do his show. It really relaxed me because it's helping me communicate with people out there, and meeting new people. We're all locked up in our environment, and now we're at a place. I mean, I have a 4-year-old kid, right? And I'm at an age now, I'm 52. I don't want to go nowhere. I just want to go to the gym. I want to stay home. I get stuck so this is not really affecting me, but you can't socialize like you used to right now. And it's weird. You go to a store, everybody's wearing a mask. You feel like, oh my God, somebody walks by you. It's scary times. But do you find it for yourselves? You're connecting now more to people through social networking and people a little more kinder now. That's what and to me, it's more soothing.
Well, the thing that we all used to have, which is the heart and soul of the hospitality industry, is conviviality. We are really inventively recreating and reestablishing conviviality, that joy of coming together and eating with gusto and pleasure and the sharing of food and experiences. We're finding new ways to do that.
I'm going to show you something that's very fun. You guys like coffee?
Love it.
Some coffee?
Hey,
What are you going to show us now? More?
I'm going to show you something. Just we're gonna get wild and crazy. I have this little, martini. So like a little rock and roll.
What does he got?
Oh, that's so rock and roll.
It is very rock and roll. Another thing you guys can do, and when I was in Italy over the summer, you take your espresso, you could pour it in.
I have no volume on them. What is
that? You have no volume?
No,
I hear you.
I can hear you fine.
Okay. I'm going to show you something really quick. You take your espresso, you pour it in the ice, right? Right there?
Yep.
Okay. And what you're going to do, you could dash a little. I'm on a cooking show, hon. But how could you see that? Does it go to my thing? Oh, it's Michael Politz. I'm telling my wife about Michael Politz.
Hi, honey.
That's my wife, Amber.
Hi, Amber.
Hey, Amber.
Bring her in.
What's up, Amber?
Trick if I have something here. You can add in there either milk or cream or take like a liquor or something, right? And what you're gonna do is you're gonna do one of these. Now, when you shake this really hard with the ice, it's amazing. And you can put it on a martini glass, which I don't have. And the coloring, it looks creamy, and it's refreshing. It's a nice little treat. See, it gets a little bubbly foam like that.
Ooh, nice.
If you could see that. Sorry about this, guys. If I had a clear glass, it looks a lot better. So it almost comes out like a cappuccino. If you put a little let's see. Yeah, I'm doing it low rent. I'm sorry. You can see how like it gets like a froth on there. You see that?
Yeah.
If you can see that, can you?
A little frothy.
Yeah, look, it's a little frothy, but it's so. It tastes refreshing. It actually has a natural sweetness to it. So you know what's good about this drink? With the espresso, the freshening, it gets you wild and crazy in your house while you're by yourself and get a panic attack.
When have you been in your house by yourself, and how long? Where's he going now? Steven, give us a little quick tour food story. Give us a little story, Steph.
Bullets, it was a pleasure meeting everybody. Let's go.
Josh, good to see you. Thanks for being with us, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Nice meeting you. Be
You
safe.
too. Pleasure.
I can't believe Josh is bailing out from us. Can you believe this, Jennifer?
No, he's coming. Listen, this is one of the. This is like a new version of the old-fashioned panel show. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Matt.
Yeah.
Jennifer has one of these.
Oh.
Have you heard of that before?
I might have. It's
Jennifer has one of those. Very big.
I actually have two.
Okay.
Do you
No,
really?
just kidding. There you go.
There you
There
go.
you go.
All right.
Hey,
I love Stephen. This is the most important. Look at this. This is the latest issue of Food and Beverage Magazine. This is for April. May's coming out. We're talking about surviving the industry through this pandemic, right? And what we're going to do is, Jennifer, we're gonna get a big list of chefs and all of our celebrity friends, like Stefan does. That's why we're doing this, right, Steph? And well, we can't hear you now, really.
We can't hear Stefan, but we're going to wait till he comes back because we got to talk to him some more. I also want to say shout out to my dear friend Jose Andres, who was on 60 Minutes this past week. Once again, he is completely leading by example, revolutionizing the idea of never leaving someone hungry. You know, we can say no kid hungry, but we are doing everything we can in this time because with millions of our industry brothers and sisters out of work, we have got to make sure that no one's falling through the cracks and that none of our kids are falling through the cracks. We want to make sure that every child that's out there knows that someone loves them and cares about them and will do whatever it takes to get them something so that they don't have to experience the anguish and the physical discomfort and the mental discomfort of being hungry and fearful and having anxiety over all of this. It's tough enough. You don't go to school, you don't see your friends, you can't leave the house. And on top of that, if it's hungry, I'm sorry. We're not doing our job if any kid is hungry in this country, let alone anybody in our business. I don't know about different cities, but in Tucson, Arizona right now, all of my friends in the restaurant business are doing extraordinary things to make sure that everyone is fed, from the first responders and the hospital staff to the people in the industry. There are chefs and friends who are going around and making sure that anybody who was in the industry that got furloughed, laid off, that have lost their job, they've got a way to get fed. I also want to point out that in Las Vegas, our good friend Elizabeth Blau is doing amazing things to feed the industry and the community. In Vancouver, British Columbia, the same thing is taking place. Communities are coming together. That's the great thing about the food world. Everybody in this business, if you're really in this business, they'll give you the shirt off their back. That's what the spirit behind all of this is.
I would love to piggyback that, and you know, when this all started and restaurants were forced to close their doors, it was a very scary time, and all of us were nervous for everyone. But what I didn't expect, and what did happen, and what continues to happen, is many restaurants, despite being able to just barely make their bills, they are giving out an enormous amount of free food. It is unbelievable what restaurants are doing and seeing, and it's a beautiful outcome in a very tragic situation, because they are giving out free food despite being able to pay bills, and that's just amazing. And we all come together. And when you see New York strong and Las Vegas strong and we're all in this truly together, and everyone has, it's really been beautiful to watch many businesses give back.
All right, we lost Jennifer, Matthew.
Okay.
You bored her. I don't know. Well, she got emotional. She got very Cuomo on us, and then out. All right, Matt, thanks for joining us. Why don't you give a shout out to your distillery, your roads on the road, all the things you do, and then we'll be out of here, and we'll come back probably tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, I'd love to. This is what I'm drinking tonight. So this is a blood orange old fashioned that we make at the Spirits Lab. It's a 3-year-old wheated bourbon, and it's a phenomenal recipe. So hopefully you'll get a hand on this at some point, Michael.
I hope so. And then, of course, Rogues on the Road. How do they get to Rogues on the Road?
We're getting there. We're getting there.
How do people listen?
Say that again?
How can they listen? Apple?
They can listen to us on roguesontheroad.com.
Okay.
You can go onto our Instagram page, Rogues on the Road, if you want to see our life as it's unveiling and what we're doing. So Rich and I aren't really together. We're doing our social distancing. I know a lot of our fans want you guys together. But we plan on doing some call-in podcasts very soon.
All right, beautiful. All right, guys, we are out of here. Oh, wait, we got Ajika back on.
Not working.
Well,
Stefan, I'm about to close out the show tonight. Look at you. You look great.
I'm in the show, but you have no sound, Michael. It's like his show. Let me see if I can get this going on. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna fix this. Hold on.
I'm leaving. We're done. We're closing it out. All right, we'll see you soon.
Awesome.
All
All
right,
right, see you soon. Bye.
All right, buddy. Thanks. We appreciate you coming on.
Great seeing you.
Good seeing you finally.